All right, here was a 1914, I think, Gibson U Harp that I had in last year, and this was a mess. There was a lot of work that needed to be done in this one. It had a lot of structural issues. The top was collapsing in two spots. It had separated from the sides in one spot. And what made this one more challenging was there were some bad repairs that had been attempted. So almost everything I did on this, I first had to undo a previous repair. Here's where it had separated from the sides. And so I'm just splicing in. I've already glued it up back to the sides. So I've already stabilized this area. And now I'm just undoing and redoing this bad splice in here. And then I fixed the little gap there. That was pretty common on that old celluloid stuff. And then this crack extends all the way up to under the pick guard. And this was a really bad repair. The top, when it was glued up, it wasn't flush. So one side of the crack was lower than the other side of the crack. And it was just not a very good, it just wasn't fit in well. So I dug all of that out. Okay, so I've spliced here and repaired this underneath this area. So this is no longer moving like it was. And then I cut out all of this here and spliced this in. There's also 3 large cleats, 1, 2, 3. So this area is now flush and repaired correctly. And now the next thing I need to do is just clean this up a little bit more. And then I have to create a custom stain to try to match this maroon color, and I'll show you how I do that. And then just had to hand mix and eyeball a stain. And I keep saying shellac in the video, but actually this was a varnish, a little different. So I just had to hand paint in the pigment, try to match it the best I can. Anytime I get a job like this, I always give my clients a couple options. I basically give them like the whole full-blown historic restoration option. And then I also give them a more budget-friendly option, which is really just like, let's get the thing structurally repaired and do some minimal aesthetic work, but we're not going to go full-blown restoration, because frankly some people just aren't willing to invest in guitars like that. And so what happens is if you don't give them an accessible option and you just kind of are a purist and you're like, well, no, it's got to be all or nothing, then guitars like this end up in trash cans. So I don't want to do that. So did the best we could within the option or within the budget. I also rebuilt the bridge. There's a bunch of stuff I did on this that I didn't film. I had to fix all of these tuning machines on my lathe because they were all slipping. Their threads were all busted up. I rebuilt the bridge, did a fret job, and there were also 2 loose braces that I repaired. And, but yeah, this was a really cool instrument, fun project.